listen, she's a beautiful young lady. And there's a lot of beautiful young ladies in the WNBA. But when you do that, you can't come down the line and complain about being objectified later on. It's not going to work with people. Whether it's right or wrong, it's not going to work. And when you do stuff like that and you're drawing attention to yourself because of that, that can be problematic for you.
Picture this. It's New Year's Eve. Angel Reese posts a photo that's more look at me than game on. The internet explodes, and not in a good way. Stephen A. Smith goes off. And just like that, Reese's social media goes dark. But here's the million-dollar question. Was it worth it?
Here's the part that I like about the backlash. Clearly, it's something that a lot of people can't take. So if it's something that you can't take, maybe you shouldn't expose yourself to the backlash and provoking the backlash.
From WNBA rebounding leader to Instagram exile, Reese's journey is a cautionary tale for athletes everywhere. But don't worry, we're not just here to break it down. Smith didn't hold back, calling out Reese's attention-seeking behavior and comparing her to the ever-professional Caitlin Clark. You won't believe what he said about Reese's desperate cry for attention and how it's affecting her future in the WNBA. Are you ready? Let's go.
Especially when the comparison is going to be drawn to Caitlin Clark, who isn't doing such things. That might not be fair. I'm not saying it is. And you certainly have the right to dress how you want and to do what you want and to live your life. But people have a right to have their opinions about what you put on display. And if they don't like it and they believe that it's not the right thing for you to be doing when you talk about building your brand, I don't know how you can argue that, Tori.
The clock's ticking toward midnight, and there's Angel Reese in a jaw-dropping dress, ready to ring in 2025. But her fans? They weren't exactly thrilled with this show. Reese posted this video on Instagram, probably thinking she'd break the internet. Instead, it backfired big time. The backlash came fast and hard. We're talking comments that'd make anyone cringe. Even her diehard fans were like, "What were you thinking?" That's when you know you messed up.
My daughters are fully aware. Daddy had better damn well not see an outfit like that on social media. Nah, I ain't judging Angel Reese. Live your life. I'm talking about my daughters.
Right.
I promise you. I better not see that. Hey, they could be in college in LA, in Boston, or anywhere in between. Daddy will drop the mic, hop in the car, on the plane, or wherever. That ain't gonna happen. You said, I'm not having it. That's me.
So what got everyone so worked up? Picture Reese in a barely there dress that hardly covered anything, posing and strutting in ways that had people doing double takes. This wasn't your average New Year's outfit. It was meant to turn heads, and boy, did it ever. As things heated up, Reese's social media went quiet. Then, out of nowhere, her Instagram vanished. Just like that, it was gone.
She deleted her Instagram, and that's the most important part about all of this, because clearly she's uncomfortable with some of the backlash that she's getting because she deleted her Instagram.
Let's be honest here. This isn't just about some dress. It's about a young athlete who might have just hurt her own image. Reese is 22, and in the sports world, that's old enough to know better. Now everyone's wondering what's next for Reese. But before we can even catch our breath, Stephen A. Smith steps in with his take. And trust me, you'll want to hear what he has to say about Reese's New Year's surprise.
Let's call it what it is. I am not trying to say that she should be criticized or she is wrong. What I'm saying is by pulling it down, clearly you felt there was something wrong with it.
You know it's serious when Stephen A. Smith enters the chat. And boy, did he have some thoughts about Angel Reese's New Year's stunt. Smith didn't just comment. He went full disappointed dad mode on Reese. Let's break down his reaction because it's a doozy.
Yes, you are 22. Yes, you are young. And there's a lot of things that we didn't want people to know about when we were her age. Fair enough, especially me, okay? Because I'm 30 plus years removed from that age. I got that part. There was no social media then or whatever. But here's my point to you. She knows this social media. She is not dumb. She's quite a brilliant young lady. She's very smart, very accomplished. And on top of it all, she is in this age where she does know social media exists, and she has exploited it to her advantage. And so when you take that into consideration, that means you're mindful of the imagery and the perception that you're assisting in creating about yourself.
First off, Smith called out Reese's hypocrisy faster than you can say, double standard. He pointed out, "You can't come down the line and complain about being objectified later on. Ouch, that's gonna leave a mark." But wait, there's more. Smith wasn't about to let Reese off the hook that easily. Here's where it gets interesting. Smith decided to play a little game of compare and contrast. Guess who came up as the shining example of how to handle your brand? None other than Caitlin Clark. Yeah, that Caitlin Clark. The one who's been busy crushing it on and off the court without a hint of controversy.
Here's what I have a problem with, Tori. Angel Reese, in doing the things that she has done, let's face reality. She's going to be attached to Caitlin Clark to some degree. If Angel Reese had never waved her hand in her face when LSU was beating Iowa for in the Final Four of the national championship, if that hadn't happened, Angel Reese's name might not be as big.
Smith didn't pull any punches when he said,
But what's not debatable is the fact that Caitlin Clark has handled her branding extremely well. Whereas with Angel Reese, sometimes you find yourself scratching your head and wondering what the hell she's doing. Like that photo right there.
talk about a slam dunk of a comparison. Clark's out here building an empire while Reese is, well, you know. But here's the thing. Smith's criticism goes deeper than just a flashy photo. He's questioning Reese's priorities. Is she an athlete or an influencer? Can she be both? It's like watching a high-stakes game of identity tug-of-war. And right now, Reese seems to be losing.
You have to be cognizant that no matter how you step out of your house, you are now Angel Reese. And you will always be picked apart, unfortunately. It comes with the crown. You're a queen. You're beautiful, you know? So you just have to remember that if you aren't ready for the scrutiny, if you're not ready for the heat, then, you just got to be mindful that what comes with it. You have to be mindful with what comes with it.
Smith's guest chimed in, adding fuel to the fire. Their take? Reese is desperate for attention. Any attention. It's like she's playing a game of notice me, while the rest of the sports world is trying to focus on actual games. Not a great look, if you ask me. Now, here's where it gets real. Smith suggests this could affect Reese's WNBA career. Are teams watching? You bet your bottom dollar they are. He hit the nail on the head when he said, when you do stuff like that and draw attention to yourself, that can be problematic for you.
It might have been a right or wrong decision depending on what she feels or what other people feel. I'm just saying that what's inescapable is that even though she's not Caitlin Clark, she's going to be reminded she's not Caitlin Clark with every good thing that Caitlin Clark does, because that was her number one nemesis, in a lot of people's eyes, number one.
Let's be real for a second. In the world of pro sports, your reputation isn't just about what you do on the court. It's about how you carry yourself off it too. And right now, Reese's off-court antics are overshadowing her game. The takeaway? According to Smith, Reese needs to decide what she wants to be known for, her game or her Instagram game. It's a tough call, but one she needs to make fast. Because in the fast-paced world of pro sports, yesterday's star can become today's cautionary tale quicker than you can say, deleted account.
Number two, she was seen during various interviews and what have you, talking about threats, talking about insults, crying about how people were coming at her with such venom and hostility, particularly in her last year at LSU, before she ultimately graduated to the pros. She brought up all of these things, which means she was aware of it. And if you're aware of it, you have to understand that that's going to be part of the judgment that comes against you, fair or unfair. That's what I'm saying, Tori.
So, what's next for Angel Reese? Will she take Smith's words to heart and focus on her game? Or will she double down on the attention-seeking behavior? Only time will tell. But one thing's for sure. The ball's in her court now. Now let's talk about the shining example Smith compared Reese to, shall we? If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your time, and we appreciate you. Now back to the action.
Caitlin Clark, the reason I bring up Caitlin Clark is because they're attached at the hip with one another, which means they're ultimately going to be compared, Tori. And when you look at Caitlin Clark is balling. She's a rookie of the year. She was one of the finalists for the league MVP honors as a rookie, breaking all types of records. She should have been on Team USA. She didn't choose to play in an unrivaled league. Her brand building has been incredibly impressive.
While Angel Reese is stirring up drama, Caitlin Clark is living her best life. These two stars couldn't be more different. Clark's been busy, and for good reasons. She gave a speech at a recent women's forum in Massachusetts, hung out with football greats Jason and Travis Kelce on their podcast, and even won countless Athlete of the Year awards. And oh yeah, she's been in the gym multiple times with new head coach Stephanie White. Clark's not just talking big, she's making it happen. It's wild to see the contrast. Reese is dealing with social media problems, while Clark's out there making moves. Talk about different priorities.
Well, we have to remember one thing. She's not Caitlin Clark. And we can't ask her to be anyone else besides herself, and especially not right here. We're not going to do that. We want you to be you. We love seeing the great parts of your journey, but we also have to remember she's 22 years old.
The media's loving this story. It's like a sports movie come to life. Clark's getting praise for how she plays and acts off the court. Reese? Well, that's a different story. Let's look at what Clark's doing. She's building something real. She's got game, charm, and brains. While people are buzzing about Reese drama, Clark's inspiring kids. She's showing girls they can be successful and respected without drama.
We understand that everybody's got their own taste, their own flavor, and certainly their own rights. But there are other people that's going to exercise their rights to be ultra critical about it. And then I'm not even talking about the outfit that Angel Reese has worn. I'm talking about the overall pressure of having to be compared as a brand to somebody who's conducting their branding with near perfection. That's what I'm saying. She's gonna have to deal with that, Tori, whether she likes it or not.
In sports, how you handle fame matters. Clark's showing everyone how it's done. You don't need controversy to stay relevant, just talent, hard work, and a level head. The difference between these two is clear. Clark's all about basketball. Reese is making headlines for other reasons. At the end of the day, it's about handling pressure, fame, and responsibility. Clark's proving you can be a star without the drama. And that's the kind of win that lasts.
The bosses are always watching. Whether directly or indirectly, there's always eyes on you, okay? And so you could be in a nice dress, you could be on a red carpet, you could be on the beach on vacation or whatever. What you post is what they're paying attention to because they're trying to measure what your intentions are based off of what they see.
Let's talk about the price of fame, folks. Is all this attention-seeking really worth it for Angel Reese? Time to break it down. First up, let's talk cold, hard cash. Sure, scandalous posts might rack up likes faster than a scoreboard in overtime, but do they actually pay the bills? Turns out they kinda do. Or at least they did. Before this whole mess, Reese was sitting pretty with endorsement deals from big names like Reebok, Beats by Dre, and Amazon. We're talking about a cool $1.8 million in estimated value. Not too shabby for a 22-year-old, right? But here's the thing. Those lucrative partnerships, they're dangerously hanging by a thread now. Brands aren't exactly lining up to be associated with controversy. It's like Reese just fumbled the bag. And now she's scrambling to recover.
I don't want Adidas, I don't want Nike turning her down because they don't see her as someone that's marketable, because
neither do I.
You know, and that's the pain that I had for her in this. But I want her to know, if she's listening, we're excited to still see you. Bring back that beautiful Instagram page and just learn from it.
You know what's wild? Reese had a massive 5 million followers on Instagram before she went dark. That's a whole lot of eyeballs and potential influence. Gone in the blink of an eye. But wait, there's more. Let's talk long-term effects. Will WNBA teams think twice next time Reese's contract is up for renewal? That's the million-dollar question. Remember Kyrie Irving? His social media antics cost him big time in endorsements. Could Reese be walking down the same path? It's a gamble that could bench her career faster than a coach's bad call.
Younger kids right now are also not able to see 40 years from now. You know, you post that photo, you're not thinking, what's this gonna do to me 40 years from now? You know, think about that. You know, when you post this, what's gonna happen to my sponsorship? And my last thing is, if you're a young member of society today and you have social media and you are big time, just remember that you need to have advisors around you. Paid advisors, as well as people who knew you before your fame.
That's great advice.
That's
great advice.
Now, let's get real for a second. Reese is only 22. Are we being too harsh or not harsh enough? Some fans are worried she doesn't have the right people in her corner. It's like watching a rookie try to navigate the court without a solid game plan. You want to root for her. But man, she's making it hard. Here's where it gets tricky. What about the younger fans who look up to Reese? Is this the example she wants to set? It's like she's teaching a masterclass in what not to do on social media 101. Not exactly the legacy you want to leave, right? The takeaway? Fame is a double-edged sword, and Reese just learned that the hard way. But here's the thing. In sports, it's not about how you start, it's about how you finish. Let's see if she can turn this turnover into a comeback story for the ages.
And the people right now who are going through this, who are facing these moments, who are thrust into the spotlight, take a look at your advisors around you. Do they have your best interest? And if you do get pushed back in this way, ask yourself, who were the people around me during that time? And what do they say about this? And keep that in mind, because your reputation, at the end of the day, you have the power over that.
Angel Reese's recent actions have serious implications for her career. The real challenge now is how she'll bounce back. In pro sports, your reputation is crucial, and right now, Reese's isn't doing her any favors. Let's be honest, Reese is at a turning point. She needs to figure out what kind of legacy she wants to build. Will she be known for her skills on the court or her drama off it? Because in this world, you can't have it both ways. It's time for her to step up, take responsibility, and show us what she's really made of. Everyone's watching Reese's next move. How she handles this could make or break her basketball career. Will she let her game speak for itself? Or will the controversy keep overshadowing her talent? The clock's ticking, and the pressure's on. Reese's response to this moment could shape her entire future in the sport. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.